The sacred household. The first law was not political. The first law was not political but funerary. Adoption was the right that saved the fire from going out. To be born was less important than to be remembered. Lineage existed to maintain worship. Death demands a successor, not for inheritance, but for sacrifice. Every family feared extinction, not as biological failure, but as ritual silence, the horror of an unworshipped ancestor. He to whom nature has denied a son can adopt one, so that the funeral ceremonies may not cease. Adoption was a sacrament, the transfusion of one soul into another's altar. To adopt was to transfer worship. He passes into new divinity. The adopted renounced his first hearth. The fire of birth was extinguished in favor of a new flame. Emancipation was a death of worship. Adoption, a resurrection in another house. Relationship was not of blood, but of flame. Kinship was defined by the right to make offering at the same hearth. The family was not a biological tree, but a chain of sacred fires. To share gods was to share being. To worship separately was estrangement. Vagnation, male descent was the architecture of continuity, the ritual line of those who kept the flame. The maternal was absorbed into the paternal right. The wife renounced her own gods. Marriage was not union, but transference of worship. The woman crossed the threshold to new ancestors. Her body carried new life, but her soul changed allegiances. The maternal tomb was lost to her. Her son's offerings ascended to another line. Thus, patriarchy was first a priesthood, not a politics. The control of worship, not of women. The hearth and the tomb were the twin poles of religion, one for living, one for the dead. To lose either was to fall into chaos. To unite them was to possess the world. The same fire that cooked the meal warmed the dead. Domestic worship was cosmology in miniature. Birth beside the flame, death beneath the field. The family's immortality was secured not by genes, but by ceremonies of flame and food. Property was not a right of possession, but a covenant of worship. The field belonged first to the dead, then to the gods, and only lastly to the living. Ownership meant tending, never disposing. Land was a trust passed through generations of piety. To sell the field was to violate the dead. To till it was to pray. The first proprietor was not man, but fire. The first boundary was religious, not legal. The hierkos, the terminus, the invisible perimeter of the divine. Between one family and another stood a strip of consecrated earth, uncultivated, inviolate. Boundaries were gods in disguise. To cross them was sacrilege. The limit was the law itself. Stone and spirit joined. The field's edge was its guardian. The terminus was a silent deity of possession. Religion made property eternal. The land could not be divided without priestly mediation. Even sale required ritual. The tomb's soil was imprescribable. Neither time nor state could annul it. The hearth, the house, and the burial ground were the trinity of permanence. Ownership was not individual but ancestral, a contract between the living, the dead, and the unborn. Sure. Albert Camus, to imagine Sisyphus happy, yeah. Well, they say a pessimist's future will always come true, and there's no fun in that. So optimism is the true wild thinking. To be optimistic is to be wild. To merge families was to confuse gods. To mix hearths was to pollute divinity. Each house required its own altar and its own enclosure. Community was always mediated by separation. The polis emerged from many sanctified isolations, a constellation of fires, not a single flame. Thus individuality was born of piety. The private began as the sacred. The modern ego inherits the religious solitude of the ancient house. Property is the worship of the dead extended into soil. The right to the field is the right to remember. The dead confer possession. The living preserve it through sacrifice. The earliest economy was funerary. The circulation of offerings, the exchange of piety for fertility. To till is to continue the liturgy of ancestors. Every harvest is a resurrection.